All right, everyone. We still have a couple of weeks left before the school year officially kicks off, but I've got my classroom pretty much set up and ready to go, so I wanted to take you on a quick tour. If you have seen my classroom before from previous years, you'll notice a lot of things are the same. I've made a few tweaks that I'll point out to you, but I'm going to try not to rehash so much information so that I can keep this video moving along. But rather than explain everything verbally, I'm going to include links with information to let you know more about things that you see in here, because I've written a lot of blog posts about things in this room before. So if you have questions or you're wanting to know more about something that you see that I don't talk about here today, please make sure you check out those links below, and of course you can ask questions and I'll be happy to answer them, but I'm going to do my best. I can go on and on and on about everything in here, of course, but I'm going to do my best to keep this video moving along. So let's get started. This is the main seating area that I use for 1st through 6th grade. This is a K to 6 music room, and I'll show you the kindergarten seating area in just a minute. But I have the classes split up into color teams in rows, and this is where they come in and sit when they enter the room, and they have assigned seats. As you can see, I have extra chairs and stands in the back. That is mostly for the band and other ensemble classes that rehearse in here. But if you turn around, I've got these nice windows, which are awesome. But I have the interactive whiteboard at the front of the room, and this is where I kind of have most of the stuff I need for teaching, because I do teach from here the most. But I have a new electric keyboard, which has been awesome to have. I can kind of swivel back and forth if I'm sitting down working on stuff on my own outside of class. But honestly, I do tend to move that chair out of the way most of the time during the school day while I'm teaching. And that is where I keep, on this desk right here, I keep my laptop, which I don't have yet because I'm still on summer break. But that connects to the projector that goes to the smart board, so I work from there. Since I don't have a big giant teacher desk, I have a little filing system underneath. Those are by class. That is the sub-materials that you see in the clear boxes. And I also have put some trays down here, which I use to keep some papers that I need to file away if I don't have time to do that right away, as well as my teacher supplies and some extra filing folders that I have hanging on the wall. That's for papers that I use more regularly. A few posters. And my emergency information is here to grab, because this is the door we are most likely to use in an emergency with. This is for behavior management. My music stand. My little apron that I use is the same as before, but I did get a new clipboard from the Target Dollar Spot, and I keep my schedule and my clock over here. And so because of the way this clipboard is now, I'm able to keep happy notes and behavior slips tucked inside, and this has an elastic band that can keep this closed. I also added this adhesive pocket in here to keep those, and I added a pen loop here to hold the pencil. So I'm really excited about that. It's a bit of an upgrade to my clipboard, which I use for so many things. I've got my rolling whiteboard that I pull out when I need, especially if I'm doing something over on the other side. And I've got my grade level objectives up on the wall in place of a word wall, which is what I used to have. I've moved my writing supplies, which are organized by the color teams, in here so that it's easier for the younger students to get them themselves. I used to have them up higher, and so I was having to help the first and second graders reach them so that they could pass them out, which is kind of counterproductive. So I've got pencils and erasers, markers, and crayons for each color team over here. So if we're using a lot of things, they can just grab the whole caddy. Most of the time I tell them to grab the cup and give it to the color team. And this is also new for me. I got this cart, which I'm really excited about, that I can I have room in my closet to tuck it away if I'm not using it. But my idea is that this will be for additional supplies that I would want to have organized by color team, but that I don't use as frequently. So you've got clipboards in the little cardboard magazine files. And then for each color team, I have this bin, which I plan to use to put things in that I need for a specific lesson. So what's in here will change depending on what I'm doing. But right now I have these ukulele picks. I have dry erase markers and erasers, which I forgot to mention I do have dry erase boards with the staves on them behind the clipboards back here. And then I have these boxes which I got to hold manipulative. So if we're doing a composition thing, I can put them in these little boxes and have them in the color team's bins so that it's easy for them to grab. Next to those and tucked under the table, I have the lap trays, which the students really like those so much better than the clipboards. So that's why I'm planning to have those permanently there, and then the clipboards on this rolling cart that I can put away. Then along this back wall, this is actually my closet, which has some awesome storage inside, but I have, most of my students actually don't realize this is a closet, but I have the boom whackers velcroed onto those doors. That has been up for I think 5 years now, and it hasn't fallen off. I always get a lot of questions about that. Then this wall over here is instrument storage, as you can see. My awesome, the custodian that works here added a couple of extra shelves over here so that I don't have to stack keyboards on top of each other, which I am thrilled about. And I reorganized a few things to make room for some new instruments and stuff like that, but otherwise it's basically the same. And I have the shelves labeled by color, and then I write down what is on each shelf so that it's easier for students to independently get their own instruments and practice making sure they know the names of those, and even the spelling. I do have students who reference that when they're writing down the names of instruments, so that's been really awesome. This tape on the floor is Minion tape. That's where students line up at the end of class when we're getting ready to go out in the hallway. And that goes to the door that the students use to enter and exit. We don't use the other doors for that. Next to that wall, so this is where I have all this stuff that I need to reference at the end of class as well. I have this magnet board that I made that has the team jobs that rotate, so that's why they're on magnets. And then these keyboards, which are part of the behavior management system that you can read about. But I got, so I have one of these for each class. I don't have them out right now because school isn't starting yet, but this is just to show you what they look like. And then of course the ukuleles are right under that. And my bookshelf, which is I really just use for centers when I have a reading station. And these pillows that I have tucked under here for now, which I don't know if I'll keep there or not, but those are really just for when we have the reading center. I have a dry erase. These are just picture frames from the Dollar Tree, but I write on the glass, use it as a dry erase board for writing down very simple bullet points of my lesson objectives and change those out. And then I keep lots of student artwork and stuff that kids give me. On this board, this used to be my only piano. Now I have the other new electric piano as well, which is good because this one is dying a slow death. But I'm holding on to this one for now because I like having an upright piano for my fifth graders when we do a short little keyboard unit. And it's nice to have one on this side of the room to use when we're doing movement or to use with kindergarten. So kindergarten sits on the floor 99% of the time. This is where they come in and sit when they come in the room. And you can see I have those spots organized by color teams as well. Obviously, for the older students too, if we're doing a movement activity or anything in a circle formation, they use this area as well. I think that's about everything in my room, so I'm just gonna do one more quick sweep. This is me standing over by the front door where we enter, but I'm gonna sweep you around. I'm really happy with my classroom. It's always fun to get it all set up and see everything. Gets me excited for the school year again. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you have any questions, please just leave a comment below and I'll be happy to talk with you. Be sure to check out the information that I've linked below. I hope you all have a wonderful school year. Thanks for watching and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.